and on August 16, 1995, Bobby DeBarge died from AIDS-related health complications at age 39.
The Black Society has raised legends who have inspired lots of people with their talent. However, some of these stars faced a silent death that ended their life too soon. AIDS, one of the most devastating epidemics, has claimed the lives of many, including some of the most beloved Black celebrities. Now, we reveal 23 names of those who tragically died of this illness. Who are these celebrities, and which name will shock you the most? Join us as we reveal the tragic stories of Black celebrities whose lives were cut short by AIDS. Number 23. Howard Rollins. Howard Rollins, an American stage actor, was born in 1950 in Baltimore, the United States. He was recognized as one of the most talented actors. Also, Rollins's performance in his debut film earned him an Academy Award. He was admired for the strength he committed to his roles. In 1988, one of his films, In the Heat of the Night, began airing. However, during this show, Rollins was struggling with drugs and alcohol. He was arrested 4 times for drug and alcohol-related crimes. Due to these personal issues, he was dismissed from the series. In early 1990, Rollins withdrew totally and kept himself away from the world while he battled with personal struggles. In 1996, Rollins was diagnosed with AIDS, and 6 weeks after the diagnosis, Rollins died at age 46 at St. Luke's Roosevelt Hospital in New York.
Rollins died at St. Luke's Roosevelt Hospital Center in New York City of complications of lymphoma.
What do you think about how Rollins' situation unfolded? Who is next on the list? Number 22. Raymond St. Jacques. Raymond Jacques was an American actor, director, and producer. He was known as the first Black actor to appear in a regular role in a Western series.
He was the first Black actor to play a recurring starring role on a Western TV show.
His career spanned over 30 years on stage. He became known as the Man of 1,000 Faces due to the various parts he played throughout his career. For many younger actors, Jacques portrayed a unique strength. However, it was revealed he was a gay in a society where it was frowned upon. According to his wife, their engagement ended quickly because he was gay. In August 1990, at age 60, Jacques died of lymphoma at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. But in his wife's released memoir, Jacques died of complications of AIDS. How do you think the next person on this list lived through this illness? Number 21. Larry Riley. Born in 1952, Larry Riley was an American actor. He was best known for his role as C.J. Memphis in the film A Soldier's Story. Riley made his professional stage debut in 1971 and appeared in several stage productions. In addition to acting, Riley was also a musician and singer. Riley's charm, good looks, and natural warmth opened him up to lots of viewers. However, in May 1989, Riley entered rehab for drug and alcohol abuse. The following year, he discovered he was HIV positive. Riley did not disclose his diagnosis to anyone except his wife. As his condition worsened, he claimed he was suffering from kidney failure. He continued working until he died in 1992 at age 40.
The passing of a TV icon died yesterday, suffering complications from his battle with cancer.
Thereafter disclosed by his doctor after his death. Do you think it was best that their illnesses were undisclosed? Will the next person also hide the illness? Number 20. Alvin Ailey. Ailey was a great dancer who brought Black artistry to the global stage. Ailey learned primitive dancing by a Dunham dancer, Thelma Robinson. From there, he studied a wide range of dance styles and techniques. As time went on, Ailey became uncomfortable with the label Black choreographer and preferred being known simply as a choreographer. Ailey, who was gay and bipolar, was known to be private about his personal life. On December 1, 1989, Ailey died from an AIDS-related illness at 58 years old.
An internationally acclaimed dancer has died.
Ailey asked his doctor to announce that his death was caused by terminal blood dyscrasia to shield his mother from the stigma associated with HIV/AIDS. What do you think of Ailey's influence as a Black artist? Let's find out who is next on the list. Number 19. Max Robinson. Max Robinson was an American broadcast journalist. He served as co-anchor on ABC World News Tonight. Max was noted as the first African-American broadcast network news anchor in the United States.
He was the first African-American anchor at WRC in Washington.
In 1983, Robinson had a serious car accident. He underwent surgery and received a blood transfusion. At the time, donated blood was not screened for HIV. Unknown to him, the transfusion carried the virus that would slowly devastate his body. Robinson was found to have AIDS while he was hospitalized for pneumonia, but he kept it a secret, refusing to discuss it. In 1988, Robinson was in Washington to deliver a speech at Howard University when he became terribly ill. He checked himself into Howard University Hospital, where he died of complications due to AIDS in December 1988 at age 49. Do you think the next person would also reveal this illness, or keep it a secret? Number 18. Willi Donald Smith. Willi Smith was an American fashion designer born in 1948. Smith was regarded as one of the most successful African-American designers in the fashion industry. His clothing company, Willi Wear Limited, launched in 1976. On April 16, 1987, Smith was admitted to Mount Sinai Medical Center in New York City after contracting shigellosis and pneumonia while on a fabric-buying trip to India in February 1987.
In 1987, he took a buying trip to India and he got sick. And when he returned to New York City, he was admitted to Mount Sinai.
He died of pneumonia complicated by shigellosis the following day at the age of 39. However, according to Smith's lawyer Edward Hayes, Smith's death was AIDS-related. Smith was apparently unaware that he had contracted the virus and had shown no symptoms. It was only after he was hospitalized that tests revealed he was HIV positive. Who do you think is next on the list? Number 17. Bobby DeBarge. Robert DeBarge, popularly known as Bobby DeBarge, was an American singer and musician. Born in 1956, he was best known as the lead vocalist of the R&B group Switch, releasing hit records on the Motown label. Nevertheless, beyond his bubbly lifestyle, substance abuse as a young adult led him to a drug trafficking charge in 1988. Bobby sought escape in drugs. Heroin became his companion, and with it came reckless choices. In Los Angeles, at parties of the mid-1980s, needles were passed casually between friends. In one of those moments, HIV entered his body. While Bobby was in prison, he confided to his family that he had contracted HIV. When he became terribly ill, his family sent him to a hospital in Grand Rapids. He died of AIDS complications there on August 16, 1995, at the age of 39. What do you think of these young stars and their way of life? Who is next on the list? Number 16. Essex Hemphill. Essex Hemphill, born in 1957, was an openly gay American poet and activist. He began writing poetry at the age of 14, writing about his own thoughts, family life, and sexuality. His work was featured in anthologies, films, and documentaries. This made him a central figure in the Black arts movement. Hemphill continued performing his rhythmic, spoken-word poetry. Although he would occasionally talk about being a person with AIDS, Hemphill would rarely give information about his health. It was not until 1994 that he wrote about his experiences with the disease in his poem. He died in November 1995.
And it's been mentioned by a number of people that Essex Hemphill died, but yesterday,
of AIDS-related complications at just 38 years old. Do you believe that speaking openly about AIDS would break down the stigma faster or not? Who is next? Number 15. Fela Kuti. Fela Kuti was a Nigerian musician and political activist.
It was Fela Anikulapo Kuti. He was not just your normal musician. He was so many things.
He is regarded as the principal innovator of Afrobeat, a Nigerian music genre that combines West African music with American funk and jazz. He was born in 1938. Fela Kuti married 27 women simultaneously in 1978. His youngest son, Sun, took the role of leading Kuti's former band. Kuti was the son of Nigerian women's rights activist Funmilayo Ransome Kuti. He and his band Africa 70 shot to stardom in Nigeria in 1970. However, in August 1997, Kuti's brother Olikoye Ransom Kuti, already a prominent AIDS activist and former Minister of Health, announced that Kuti had died the previous day from heart failure due to complications with AIDS. Can you guess who is next on this list? Number 14. Marlon Riggs. Marlon Riggs, born in 1957, was a black gay filmmaker.
Meet Marlon Riggs, born in 1957, raised in Texas.
Educator, poet, and activist. He produced, wrote, and directed several documentary films, including Ethnic Notions and Tongues Untied, among many others. Riggs grew up navigating both the challenges of race and sexuality in a country often hostile to both. His groundbreaking documentary, Tongues Untied, 1989, became a manifesto for black gay men. In 1988, Riggs was diagnosed with HIV. His partner, Jacques Vincent, was the only one aware at the time. However, Marlon Riggs died in his home on April 5, 1994, at 37. Jacques Vincent, his life partner, stated that the cause of death was due to complications from AIDS. Do you think Marlon Riggs did well by keeping it a secret? Who is next on the list? Number 13. Alan Wiggins. Alan Wiggins was an American professional baseball player.
Alan Anthony Wiggins was an American professional baseball player.
He was a second baseman and outfielder in Major League Baseball for the San Diego Padres. During his Major League career, Wiggins struggled with drug addiction, which resulted in several arrests and suspensions from baseball. His drug problems prompted a 1985 trade from San Diego to Baltimore, where Wiggins spent 3 seasons. After leaving baseball, he was diagnosed with AIDS, and he was the first MLB player known to die of the disease. In November 1990, Wiggins was hospitalized with pneumonia and tuberculosis at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. Wiggins stated that he had contracted HIV via intravenous drug use. After lapsing in and out of consciousness for a month, he died at the hospital on January 6, 1991. Who is next on the list? Number 12. Glenn Burke. Burke was an American Major League Baseball player for the Los Angeles Dodgers and Oakland Athletics. He was the first MLB player to come out as gay, announcing it in 1982 after he retired. Rumors and mistreatment toward his sexuality proved to be a burden he could no longer endure, leading to his retirement from Major League Baseball after only 4 years. Although he remained active in amateur competitions, Burke turned to drugs to fill the void in his life when his career ended. An addiction to cocaine destroyed him both physically and financially. In 1987, his leg and foot were crushed when he was hit by a car in San Francisco. After the accident, his life went into physical and financial decline. He was arrested and jailed for drugs and lived on the streets of San Francisco for a number of years. He died in May 1995 of AIDS complications at Fairmont Hospital in San Leandro, California, at age 42. Who comes up next on this list? Number 11. Ron Richardson. Richardson was an American actor. Richardson began his career in the mid-1970s, appearing in regional theater and opera productions. His first role on Broadway was as the Chief of Police in 1978. Over the years after, Richardson appeared in several regional theater and opera productions and was in the 1983 national tour. But it was not until his award-winning performance as Jim in the 1985 Broadway musical Big River that he became widely known. On April 5, 1995, Richardson died from AIDS-related complications in Bronxville, New York at the age of 43. Who is the next on the list? Number 10. Kevin Peter Hall. Kevin Peter, born in 1955, was an American actor.
I remember meeting Kevin Peter Hall for the first time when he came to the studio for his castings,
Hall stood 7 feet 2 inches tall and frequently played monster characters. Hall met actress Elena Reed while taping a guest role on the television show 227. The couple would marry both on the show and in real life. While working on the TV series Harry and the Hendersons, Hall announced that he had contracted HIV from a blood transfusion during surgery for injuries he sustained in a car accident. He died from AIDS-related pneumonia on April 10, 1991, a month short of his 36th birthday. Do you think there could have been proper measures taken as it relates to the transfusion of blood? Number 9. Sylvester James, Jr. Sylvester James, Jr., known simply as Sylvester, was an American singer-songwriter. Primarily active in the genres of disco, rhythm and blues, and soul, he was known for his flamboyant and unbeatable appearance.
Gay man. But that wasn't about to stop him becoming a disco queen.
Sylvester's relationship life started with Tom Daniels, a hairdresser whom he met in 1982. But their romance ended after 6 months when Daniels discovered that Sylvester had been having sex with other men while on tour. The singer's final partner, the architect Rick Cranmer, was a 6'2" blonde, and the duo moved into a house together in the hills. Cranmer died of AIDS-related complications in 1987, the year before Sylvester succumbed to the virus. How do you think others contracted this illness? Number 8. Jermaine Stewart. William. Jermaine Stewart was an American R&B singer.
Mr. Jermaine Stewart.
Best known for his 1986 hit single, We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off, which peaked at number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100. Stewart died of AIDS-related liver cancer on March 17, 1997, at the age of 39, in the Chicago suburb of Homewood, Illinois. His family refused to pay for his burial or a headstone, presumably due to Stewart's sexuality and the stigma still surrounding AIDS-related deaths in 1990. Consequently, his gravesite was left without a grave marker for more than 17 years. In 2014, his grave finally received a stone. Do you think acceptance can possibly reduce death rates associated with AIDS? Number 7. Alphonso Mizell. Alphonso Mizell was one half of the legendary Mizell brothers, a production duo that shaped the sound of Motown and beyond. Born in 1943 in Harlem, New York, he grew up immersed in music, eventually studying at Howard University. Within the industry, Alphonso was admired not just as a hitmaker, but as a visionary. Yet by the late 1980s, whispers circulated about his declining health. Friends noticed his weight loss, his fatigue, and his absences from projects. In 1989, those closest to him revealed the painful truth that he was battling AIDS. At a time when stigma ran deep, he chose to keep his diagnosis private. In July 1989, Mizell passed away in Los Angeles. He was just 46 years old. The official cause was listed as a prolonged illness, but the reality was AIDS. Who comes up next? Number 6. Hank Gathers. Eric Wilson. Hank Gathers Jr. was an American college basketball player for the Loyola Marymount Lions in the WCC.
Loyola Marymount officials today declined to answer questions concerning Hank Gathers' medical history.
As a junior in 1989, he became the second player in NCAA division in history to lead the nation in scoring and rebounding in the same season. In December 1989, he collapsed during a game and was later diagnosed with cardiomyopathy. In March 1990, tragedy struck. Playing in a conference tournament game against Portland, Gathers threw down a thunderous dunk, then suddenly collapsed. Despite efforts to revive him, Gathers was pronounced dead shortly after at just 23 years old. The official cause of death was cardiac arrest. In the aftermath, whispers circulated that Gathers had also quietly tested positive for HIV, though his family disputed such claims. Do you think the symptoms of AIDS can be mistaken for another illness? Number 5. Willie Hutch. William Hutchison, better known as Willie Hutch, was an American singer, songwriter, as well as a record producer. His early solo efforts drew modest attention. His albums like Fully Exposed and Color Her Sunshine showed off not only his voice, but his socially conscious songwriting. By 1990, he was battling recurring illness. Officially, it was reported as pneumonia, but friends whispered of a deeper truth that Hutch had contracted HIV years earlier, possibly during the turbulent nightlife of Los Angeles in the 1970s. In September 1992, Willie Hutch died in Dallas at just 48 years old. Let's find out who's next on the list. Number 4. Melvin Franklin. David Melvin, English known by the stage name Melvin Franklin or his nickname Blue, was an American bass singer. Franklin was best known for his role as a founding member of the Motown singing group. In 1968, Franklin was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, the symptoms of which he combated with cortisone so that he could continue performing. The constant use of cortisone left his immune system open to other infections and health problems. As a result, Franklin developed diabetes in the early 1980s. To treat his illnesses, Franklin took oxygen tanks with him while on tour. In January 1995, while recording the album For Lovers Only, Ollie Woodson and Williams noticed bleeding from Franklin's ankle on his sock. He was taken home to recover, but on February 17th, Franklin fell into a coma and remained unconscious. 6 days later, he died from heart failure at the Cedars-Sinai Medical Center at age 52. What do you think about Franklin's death? Who comes next on this list? Number 3. Irish Grinstead. Irish Grinstead was the star whose presence helped shape one of the most beloved girl groups of the 1990s. Born in Las Vegas in 1981, she grew up alongside her twin sisters Irish and Lamisha. Together with their friend Camilla Williams, they formed the R&B group 702, named after their hometown's area code. But even as 702's star was rising, Irish began to fade from the spotlight. Health issues forced her to step away from touring and recording, a decision that puzzled fans at the time. Irish had contracted HIV possibly years earlier from a blood transfusion she received after an accident as a young teenager. As the years went by, Irish health worsened. She suffered from unexplained bruising, relentless fatigue, and weight loss. In April 2008, Irish Grinstead died in a Las Vegas hospital at only 27 years old.
702 singer Irish Grinstead died on September 17th.
The official cause was listed as kidney failure, but those close to her revealed AIDS-related complications were the true reason. What are the potential symptoms of someone that has AIDS? Who's the second person on this list? Number 2. Eazy-E. Eric Lynn Wright, known professionally as Eazy-E,
please welcome Compton's own Eazy-E,
was an American rapper who propelled West Coast rap and gangsta rap by leading the group NWA and its label, Ruthless Records. On February 24, 1995, Wright was admitted to the Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles with a violent cough. He was diagnosed with HIV/AIDS. He announced his illness in a public statement on March 16th. It is believed Wright contracted the infection from a sexual partner. During the week of March 20th, having already made amends with Ice Cube, he drafted a final message to his fans. On March 26th, Eazy-E died from HIV/AIDS 1 month after his diagnosis. He was 30 years old. Having read through it all, who is the first person on the list? Number 1. David Peaston. David Peaston was born in St. Louis, Missouri in 1957. He was raised in a deeply musical family. His mother, Martha Bass, was a celebrated gospel singer.
Oh yeah, my mother, my sister, and then Hathaway and a whole lot of other folks.
And his sister, Fontella Bass, gave the world the timeless hit, Rescue Me. David's voice was as melodious and perfect as it could get. However, just as his career was gaining momentum, Peaston's health began to fail. In the early 1990s, he was diagnosed with HIV, a revelation that changed his life forever. At that time, the stigma around AIDS was crushing. By late year 2000, complications from diabetes and AIDS had forced him to use prosthetic legs. In February 2012, at just 54 years old, David Peaston passed away at his mother's home in St. Louis. Which of these names surprised you the most? Do you think the societal stigma associated with AIDS contributed more to the tragic death of these celebrities? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.